Hello, everybody. I am running on very little sleep. I have not been sleeping well at all the last few days, but whatever. I may be just a little loopy. I get a little weird when I'm overtired. Are you out for delivery yet? You are not. That's probably not getting air till tomorrow. Oh well. Gear Gussy. Oh, Geargasm. No sleep, CD. This'll be fun. Hey, screw you. Okay, Vegas. Great, we're good. All right, I need a file explorer open. Windows 11 has a tabbed file explorer, and I think that's really fucking cool. Like, I have been wanting a tabbed file explorer for so long. Like, now I don't have to fucking have, like, a dozen windows open. There we go. That'll do. So, I'm working on the Decay video. You guys were here on the last weekly stream when I just recorded it off the cuff. This is, like I said before, this is just the first half. And, like, there's gonna be, like, I'm not releasing this until the rest of the fucking episode is out, and then it's gonna be one big thing. So there's, like, a recap as it stands now, and then there's a recap of what's, and then there's a recap of, like, whatever is coming next, and then there's my final thoughts. So currently, it is at 1 hour and 18 minutes. This is actually going to be rendered and thrown up for patrons, by the way. Probably low quality. Patreon gets a little fussy about that. Is this where the cut her throat came from? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Where the fuck is it? Sadly, the delight is soured by Andrew almost rationalizing a reason to leave before immediately talking himself out of it. God damn it, playing this game makes me feel like the world's most useless Jiminy Cricket. Ugh, moral Puritan YouTubers like CD Call just, like, don't get it. The whole point is that we know they're bad people, and so it's fun watching them get worse. Cut the bitch's throat, you pussy! Andrew tells Ash I just felt like that was a really. I still haven't finished even watching the Let's Play of Decay. Like, I just find that's a really fun juxtaposition for the simple fact that like, you know, people are going to be interpreting my criticism as like, oh, you just can't handle dark media. You just don't get that the whole point is they're bad people. And meanwhile, for the whole video, I'm just here like, oh my god, you pussy, just kill the bitch. Pixie, hand me that loose pack of double A's. So let's see. I've got it edited up until about, hang on. I'm trying to enjoy making these videos, you know? And, all right, I've got it edited right up to about, yeah, so I'm about a third of the way. I'm not a third of the way through. I had to get your girlfriend to help me with the chainsaw or get out. Oh, you guys want to hear the most disgusting voice line ever? He ends up seeing gory visions of Ashley's butchered corpse before Ashley herself astral projects into the dream and snatches him out of it.
I can taste the essence of your soul. It is sweet.
Just like with Ashley. Oh, I don't like that. It's a little shudder right beforehand. Ew. Bad full body shivers. Ew, ew, ew. Yeah, it's the little beforehand, and it's just, ugh. I did not need to hear an old god come. It's Ashley's abuse and tantrums and outbursts that makes Andrew hate her. Andrew can kill people for her, and it's never good enough. You're broken from the start, no victory will ever be enough. They'd be fine if Ashley would stop being such an insecure cow and treated him with some respect, but hey, good to see you, everyone. Nope, 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 nope. That's from WoW, right? Yeah, that's Yasharaj. Back to shots and such. If you picked Andrew, then he'll have an epiphany where he finally grows up and becomes a man. Well, kind of. Andrew's never been particularly manly.
If it cannot break out of its shell, the chick will die without being born.
So this time, Ashley tries to laugh off the massive problem she just caused, and it turns into another argument about who fucked up more. And it's obviously Ashley because she killed someone when they were supposed to leave them. She got no thoughts in there. Her head's completely empty, just a soda commercial running on repeat. Eventually, Ashley decides she's done with the argument and is going to explore. Worked before, right? Well, not this time. Andrew just grabs the cleaver and decides it's time to take part in some wholesome sororicide. Unfortunately, Ashley flees and barks. You have absolutely nothing else worth noting. I don't know what you mean. Every time I wonder how to write my extremely loving and extremely close twin characters, I look at whatever the hell Andrew and Ashley are doing and write the exact opposite. Why did I get an ad for spam during the stream when editing the Cannibal Incest game? What do you think spam is made of? Between "you are an absolute terror" and "marry me, you goth woman child," before finally deciding to slit his wrists. This is kind of girly, isn't it? Don't break the fourth wall just to tell me you're a rotten egg. Kill yourself already. Wow, CD, this whole time it looked like you were sympathizing with Andrew. Pixie, I think you're confusing sympathy with condonement. For as much as Andrew's problems as a child aren't really his fault, and he is the had gold in your hands and traded it for a Dahmer box set. I'm trying to enjoy making these videos, you know? Anyway, Andrew eventually slits his wrist. Oh, come on, don't hug the corpse, Andrew! Anyway, this game ends with the prophecy fulfilled. If you choose to just stand there, Ashley eventually
What a fucking funny-ass visual image.
If you choose to just stand there, Ashley eventually stand there, Ashley eventually pulls out the gun and threatens to shoot him, saying that she doesn't need him and she'll latch onto someone else. Saying that she doesn't need him and she'll latch onto someone else. Honestly, I believe her. Ashley's the kind of person who is desperate for love but can't get it because she's the human equivalent of the elephant's foot. Honestly, I believe her. Ashley's the kind of person who is desperate for love but can't get it because she's the human equivalent of the elephant's foot, and you need to have serious psychological damage to willingly be around her. And her enmeshment with Andrew is the only reason she hasn't done something more conventional as a coping mechanism, like chasing older men, or pedo-jacketing musicians for Twitter clout, or making teenagers talk you out of suicide. You seriously made a teenager talk you out of suicide court? For fuck's sake, just go to therapy. Ashley, of course, can't actually bring herself to shoot him, and
I know people that actually like spam as a food, and the commentary has made me just a little nervous. The likelihood of there being disposed human corpses in your processed deli meat is low,
but never zero.
Forgetting that one piece of court lore, and wow, I wish I still forget. Oh, you mean the thing where, like, she got a teenager to talk her out of suicide? Good lord. I mean, like, the reason she ran away in the first place was because she got broken up with. Go together like peanut butter and the worst jelly you've ever tasted. Your estranged sister is beyond deranged, only low. No way in hell. Well, actually, if you like cursed jokes, where to go? Here it is.
So in the end, playing the coffin of Andy and Lele was like having a conversation that went, hey, wouldn't it be fucked up to have a sister like this? You don't know the half of it. Arguably, coffin is the so in the end...
See, I was drinking something. Correct. That thing is beyond deranged. Oh, I did something with the intros here that I actually really like. Give me a sec. I kind of make the text quiver. Hang on.
Hey, sweetie, what are you doing on the floor?
Oh, I'm pondering a few things.
Like what?
Life. Mine specifically.
What about it?
I should have killed a lot more people.
I fancy a burger. It really is a pop commercial. That one doesn't. Ah, here we go. And where's the next one now? After the... And then the last one is way the fuck over here.
Well, that was horrible, but at least it's over now, right? Right?
This is what you get if you empty
Why does the puppet have a mouth? Because it's unsettling. Myself, I don't usually get to catch a CD stream. Let's go check this out. And well, I did not expect this. So the effect is actually pretty easy to do. I like the VHS effect. No, it's not a VHS effect. It's the effect is called TV Simulator. So I turn on the TV simulator and I turn basically everything down except for line sync and vertical sync. And then vertical sync stays up maximum and line sync goes down to about 0.96. So you turn it down very slightly. The end result is like it looks like this. So it wiggles. So then I turn the opacity down and I fade it out. So it gives the feeling of like pulsating. And it's just sitting right over just like a static, non-affected version of the same image. The episode title slides, and I, of course, do not care for uncanny CV. This is like one of the jokes I had in my head, like before I'd even written the script, like going from shots and such. I need to like end that and have McKay go, "Oh, that was horrible. At least it's over now, right?" And then just look at her, and then Super go, "Right?" And I was like, "I've got to give the puppet a mouth for this. It's just so uncanny." The title effect is neat. Oh, thanks. Decaying Along was actually a lot easier. Hang on, where'd I put it? So I just have, the normal title here. And then I have the version that's like just all I did and it just fades into this one. Taking a piss and you use that as the thumbnail of Mal. And all this is I just took the smudge tool and fireworks and I just dragged down at different points. So if I were to open this, oh, that's called Tile 6C. That should be Title 6C. Have fun. Love you. Love you too, McKay. So if I were to just take this, you flatten the whole thing, grab the smudge tool here, and then just
And that's it. That's all you do. I'm not going to save that because I need this intact. It's the and that's just a background and a vignette effect on top. I do like it. I do like the effect of like 10 out of 10. Please never do it again. Oh, she's gonna do it again. I do like the effect of like the sort of like just the title, like the fucking title is melting. I do quite enjoy that. Teenager Taki at a suicide court? For fuck's sake, just go to therapy. Ashley, of course, can't actually bring herself to shoot him. Look at the end and say, I respect her for having the balls to not give her audience any happy endings. Yeah, the audience is coping like crazy, assuming there's going to be a happy one for Burial, even though she literally stuck a thing into the breadcrumb for Burial, saying this is not going to go the way you think it is. I love seeing the editing process. It makes me learn new effects to use. Yeah, that's kind of the reason I do these editing streams, so people can just see the process. Ashley, of course, can't actually bring herself to shoot him, and the demon intervenes by removing Andrew's soul. Intervenes by removing Andrew's soul from his body, showing that he is now an unhatched tar soul. More on that later. It's weird. Where did it? Oh, there you are. He is now an unhatched tar soul. More. Tar soul. More on that later. It's weird that the point where he goes from grime soul to tar soul is trying to kill someone who's had it coming for a while. It's weird that the point where he goes from grime soul to tar soul is trying to kill someone who's had it coming for a while. Ashley starts panicking and hits the bargaining phase, trying to find some way to put Andrew's soul back that won't lead to him immediately trying to kill her. Eventually, she and the demon opt to seal him in a small room in the demon's domain. She and the demon opt to seal him in a small room in the demon's domain while the demon takes Ashley to discuss a new business venture. Eventually, Andrew wakes up and escapes from his Orby prison. It was a nice frame to have for a second there. Oh, in that case, hang on, where'd that one bit go? You probably liked it. Oh, here we go. We get treated to the best thing this game could ever show us. Ashley finally getting what's coming to her. Sadly, the delight is soured. Literally the best part of the whole fucking game is just, oh god, finally. Actually, shit, we're not far from that. Help him escape. Come. And takes Ashley to Eventually, she and the demon opt to seal him in a small room in the demon's domain while the demon takes Ashley to discuss a new business venture. Eventually, Andrew wakes up and escapes from his Orby prison. Eventually, Andrew wakes up and escapes from his Orby prison by knocking it over and doing some puzzles. Exploring the demon's domain, he finds all the souls that he and Ashley have given the demon over the course. Exploring the demon's domain, he finds all the souls that he and Ashley have given the demon over the course of the game and uses them to help him escape. Come, my army of the damned, and we will flee to freedom. Ah, shit, the warden caught us. And we will flee to freedom. Ah, shit, the warden. Ah, shit. Ah, shit, the warden. Escape. Come, my army of the damned, and we will flee to freedom. Ah, shit, the warden caught us. Come, my army of the damned, and we will. Of the damned. And we will flee to. And we will flee to freedom. Ah, shit, the warden caught us. Ah, shit, the warden caught us. Ah, shit. Ah, shit, the warden caught us. The demon wants to kill Andrew while Ashley begs The demon wants to kill Andrew while Ashley begs for him to be spared. It's clear both here and in other routes that the demon is trying while Ashley begs for him to be spared. It's clear both here and in other routes that the demon is trying every trick in the book to get Ashley to give up on Andrew, because Andrew is about the only person who could probably prevent the demon from completely ensnaring Ashley's soul. It's hinted that tar souls can turn into demons themselves, and by hinted I mean blatantly shown to you, and the demon is trying by hinted I mean blatantly shown to you, and the demon is trying to condition and deal make Ashley. Fuck, Twitch is so visually overstimulating. What? What's your overall opinion on this game? Oh, well, I can actually give you the grade card to show you. Positives: a frighteningly accurate, though I suspect unintentional, depiction of what prolonged abuse does to someone's psyche. Neutrals: abuse depiction, revelry. Negatives: extremely overwritten, abusive behavior played for laughs while the victim's descent into madness is played 100% straight. Game tries to be funny and fails 90% of the time. Game is only interesting when you ignore half of it to unpack how it bungles the psychology of the two siblings. The kind of abuse and enmeshment that happens to real people is exploited for the sake of true crime thrills. Ugh. Author's attempts to outwit horny fandom is both distracting and pathetic, tries to hammer in the idea that both lead characters are equally evil and consistently fails to do so, and the game is neither fun, thought-provoking, or offensive, it is simply nauseating. Like, 50 spots of flashing color popped up at the same time. Okay, that's weird. No other grade is deserved. Yep. Like, the skull grade is what I reserve for media that is harmful, but, like, Coffin is only harmful in the sense that playing it will give you a headache. It literally physically assaults you. And the demon is trying to condition and deal make Ashley into servitude. I probably feel bad for her if this wasn't a rod she made for her own back. After enough cajoling, the demon agrees to spare Andrew, but will not allow them into his rod she made for her own back. After enough cajoling, the demon agrees to spare Andrew, but will not allow them into his realm anymore. Andrew refuses, so the demon After enough cajoling, the demon agrees to spare Andrew, but will not allow them into his realm anymore. Andrew refuses, so the demon removes his refuses, so the demon removes his soul and there we go. So the demon refuses, so the demon removes his soul and Ashley didn't even need to do that in the first place. God. So the demon removes his soul and Ashley takes him to an apartment in the human soul and Ashley Ashley takes him to an apartment in the human realm and chains him to the radiator. We now reach the longest and, if I'm being honest, most monotonous part of the episode, which is 90 minutes of these two flitting between arguing and bickering in between bouts of puzzles. Ashley leaves to go do work. Most monotonous part of the episode, which is 90 minutes. It's not only harmful, it's also offensive to abuse victims. Yeah, but that's kind of like the intent. So like criticizing it for that is like criticizing a fucking Big Mac for being bland. Like, let's be honest. Do you think the average true crime girly gives a shit? 90 minutes of these two flitting between arguing and bickering in between bouts of puzzles. Ashley leaves to go do work for the demon, leaving Andrew to figure out how the hell for the demon, leaving Andrew to figure out how the hell he's going to get out of here, and in the process finds out the apartment belongs to Carl Kultman, who is currently lying comatose. Finds out the apartment belongs to Carl Kultman, who is currently lying comatose on the bathroom floor. So, you must be Carl. Nice to meet you. Carl says nothing. I like Carl. I like the cut of his jib. Andrew decides to call someone to help him. The police? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about his friends? Actually, wait, does Andrew even have friends? Well, he had a best friend in high school, friend B, and I can tell from that someone to help him. The police? Well, that'd be a bad idea. The police? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. What about it? Well, that'd be a bad idea. His parents are dead. A bad idea. His parents are dead. A bad idea. His parents are dead. What about his friends? Actually, wait, does Andrew even have friends? What about his friends? Actually, wait, does Andrew even have friends? Well, he had a... Actually, wait, does Andrew even have... Actually, wait, does Andrew even have friends? Well, he had a best friend in high school. Friend... Well, he had a best friend in high school. And I can tell from that moniker that friend B did all the heavy lifting in that relationship. The only and I can tell from that moniker that friend B did all the heavy lifting in that relationship. The only person whose number he actually remembers is Julia. And fuck no, we're not doing that. So instead, Andrew... person whose number he actually remembers is Julia. And fuck no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So instead, Andrew gets drunk. Drunk with his old buddy... Julia. And fuck no, we're not doing... And fuck no, we're not doing that. So instead, Andrew gets drunk. Drunk with his old buddy Carl. Andrew wakes up sometime later to Ashley giving him tobacco and rollers, I assume as some kind of peace offering. Andrew, completely drunk, is not pleased by this. The demon has apparently lost all patience with Ashley and is just... Drunk is not pleased by this. The demon has apparently lost all patience. The demon has apparently lost all patience. Ghibli roundup. Oh yeah, that'll be later. I'm working on a video on the Ghibli films that's done in the same vein as the Nom Nom Nami video. In fact, I can show you all the grade cards I've got for that. In fact, actually, this will be great to figure out which of these is going to get me clapped for copyright.
Oh, lady went and swallowed a spider who wiggled and jiggled and tickled inside her. Yeah, she swallowed the spider to eat up the fly. Chase it down with the bird to catch that spider guy.
But her dreams give her wings and she flies to a place where she's loved.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van.
Good girl in a straw hat with her arms out in a cornfield. That is a scarecrow. Thought it was a human woman. Sorry. A cold night, a cold beer, a cold jeans. Strike that last one.
We'll sail around the world by ship. I'll give my whole wad as a tip. But first I'll kill my family with a knife.
Yes, he's gonna kill his family with a knife.
Irregardless of this waitress, I will kill them.
Little people with great big plans. Little people, we've got helping hands.
Oh, daughter, haven't I taught you to forgive and to forget? And if your father sown his oats, well, still you needn't fret. Your father may be father to all the boys in town, and still he's not the one who sired you, so marry whom you will.
There we go. Nope. Kaguya is about suicide. Well, it ends with one. It was kind of unsubtle about that. I've seen most of the Ghibli films. I haven't seen The Boy and the Heron. Well, Baker Thief, what's your favorite? My R, that song, dude. Felt appropriate. My neighbors, the Yamadas. Oh, yeah. My favorite is The Tale of Princess Kaguya and Only Yesterday. My family would make hot pot and watch it. Aww. Jem, Lolo, and I are going to be watching Spirited Away later today. Oh, neat. Maybe I'll join you if I'm not still streaming. My favorite is Ponyo. It's entirely because the only one I watched as a kid. It has a special place in my heart. I saw Spirited Away and Nausicaa when I was a kid. Also Grave of the Fireflies. But I saw Grave of the Fireflies when I was 14, and it kind of fucked me up. I'm actually mixed on them. My favorite is Arrietty for the little people, but my least favorite is Princess Mononoke due to Lady Eboshi. I also do not quite like Princess Mononoke. I was looking up the English voice cast for Princess Kaguya, and I got down to who voiced fucking the fucking Emperor, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Why are you here? I thought there was something about the Emperor that sounded familiar. My favorite Ghibli movie. Lolo doesn't really care for it, and Jem hasn't seen it. Oh, neat. First time I saw Grave of the Fireflies when my little sister was very little, so I got way too emotional. Mine was actually very sick when I first saw it, so it was like, uh-oh. Mononoke was fine. By gods, it really suffered from everyone says this is the greatest movie ever, so the expectations could never be met effect. Yeah, here's the thing. People like Princess Mononoke for the same reason they like Avatar. A lot of the people who say Princess Mononoke is the best are the same people who will say, like, Only Yesterday is too long. I actually don't think any Ghibli film is going to score below a C. I would say no Ghibli film scores below a B, but like Earthsea and Earwig and The Witcher here. Anything for I actually need to watch anything from Ghibli's library? You should. They're good. Their movies are good. Even their bad movies are mostly just dull. Oh, yeah. But I did see a trailer for Ponyo in the cinema, and that image of her running on the waves stuck in my mind. Oh, yeah. Age 10 due to the pig scene, but rewatched it as an adult, and I appreciate the small things, such as Chihiro's character development. Ooh, yeah. I have the Earthsea books, but I haven't read them. It sounds like a pretty generic fucking fantasy story, so... I always preferred Takahata's movies. I think they're just a lot better. They're not afraid to be... They're not afraid to refuse to give the audience a constant drip feed of dopamine, like Miyazaki's films do. One Ghibli movie about a girl who gets blessed by magic cats. I want to say The Cat Returns. There's Aya and the Witch. I think that one is the worst movie. I'm sorry, what? Are you planning to put Spirited Away and Whisper the Heart on this? I'm doing all of them. These are just the ones I've got grade cards done for. I'm rewatching all of them. Like, I know I'm going to give Spirited Away an A, but I haven't actually seen it in a very long time, so obviously I'm going to rewatch it first. But like, I am not watching these in order. I actually think my opinion of, where'd it go? Howl's Moving Castle was very severely negatively affected by the fact that I watched it right after Kaguya. Which I would actually go as far as to say this is the greatest animated film ever made. Like, it is without equal. I have seen it's certainly a refreshing approach to the experience. Oh, yeah. I give like 3 of his movies a star grade, and like his movies are the only ones who get a star, who get like the highest grade I have. Like, if I could go back with the benefit of hindsight, I'd have probably saved Princess Kaguya for last, just because, like, like, it is such a high bar, and then, like, going to anything after that is just gonna feel, like, very, very underwhelming. The dub of the first movie, hooray for helping friends with college. Okay. I love The Cat Returns because my aforementioned little sister is also named Haru. Okay. Cute. Was also an additional voice in the English dub of Totoro. I always wanted to know who she voiced. One thing I think is really just unfair is how Grave of the Fireflies has basically been memed into irreverence. Like, People talk about Grave of the Fireflies like it's this unrelentingly brutal torture movie. Like it's the kind of movie you watch when you want to torture someone. Like they talk about it on the same level as like The Passion of the Christ or The Human Centipede. I've seen some people saying that it was bad, not super elaborating, but no idea if it's actually. Earwig and the Witch's 3D animation is that, like, it is very, very, very Uncanny Valley. Ghibli's style does not translate to 3D very well at all. Early 2000s 3D animation problem. Yeah, except that it was 2020. When I was younger, for some reason, I was kind of put off a little by it, especially because of how it just ends. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of their movies are like that. All right, I gotta get back to editing. Herself to the demon isn't lost on Andrew. Funny. And the way in which Ashley practically prostrates herself to the demon isn't lost on Andrew. Funny how when it comes to the demon, you're on your knees begging and pleading. Meanwhile, I can't get a single shred of respect. It's about to turn into another fight when the police knock on the door. Carl, you called the police? I thought we were bros. Anyway, yada yada yada, they talk the police away and Andrew collapses from anxiety and the two talk about adopting a vacuum cleaner. No, seriously. Andrew falls asleep again and wakes up to Ashley crying in the bedroom. She had another vision about Andrew killing her and asks why he wants to kill her so badly. Andrew, for reasons I'm sure we'll have scientists argue. Llamas with hats reference. I love how I can do a llamas with hats reference just by how I pronounce Carl. Carl! Kill her twice. You seeing this shit, Carl? For trying to kill her twice. You seeing this shit, Carl? Ashley wants to go back to where they were Andy and Lele, and they were happy together, and then has to get a firm wake-up call that Andrew wasn't happy, and he only ever grew fond of her because of Stockholm Syndrome. He says the last time he felt any happiness with her was when they joked about jumping off the balcony, because it was a rare moment where Ashley wasn't being completely self-absorbed. The two start having a moment, but it's ruined instantly once Andrew asks to be unchained, and Ashley 180s, refuses, and storms back into her room. What the hell was that? She squeezes out a couple tears and suddenly I'm ready to overlook everything she's ever put me through? Is that all it takes to draw me back in? Yes, Andrew, it is. She turns on the waterworks and you cave because fawning is how you've survived all this. Carl agrees with me, right, Carl? The next morning, Ashley leaves to go do demonic wet work and refuses. Actually leaves to go do demonic wet work and refuses to let Andrew off the chain. Whatever, at least we still have our old buddy Carl. Oh, he's dead. Damn it, we can't have shit in this house. Chain. Whatever, at least we still have our old buddy Carl. Oh, he's dead. Damn. Oh, he's dead. Damn it, we can't have shit in this house. Well, we can't leave him here, so instead Andrew shoves him in the fridge. Well, we can't leave him here, so instead Andrew shoves him in the fridge. There. Well, we can't leave him here, so instead Andrew shoves him in the fridge. There we go. Here, why don't you just... There we go. Here, why don't you just hold that? There we go. Here, why don't you just hold that and perfect. Just hang tight right there, Carl. The phone... That and perfect. Just hang tight right there, Carl. The phone rings almost instantly, and when Andrew picks it up, it's Julia. Shit, this might be how you get out of these chains. Rings almost instantly, and when Andrew picks it up, it's Julia. Rings almost instantly, and when... Phone rings almost instantly, and when Andrew picks it up, it's Julia. Instantly, and when Andrew picks it up, it's Julia. Shit, this might be how you get out of these chains. Julia. Shit, this might be how you get out of these chains. Well, almost. In the process of asking for help, Julia turns things toward their relationship and how it failed. In the process of asking for help, Julia turns things toward their relationship and how it failed. Really? Now? Can't we have this conversation later? Really? Now? Can't we have this conversation later? Julia asks why Andrew didn't stop her from sending all the horrible messages, so we can lie and continue insisting it wasn't her, or tell the truth that it was easier. Just kidding, Andrew claims that doing something it wasn't her, so we can lie all those horrible messages. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. So we can lie and continue insisting it wasn't her. Horrible messages, so we can lie and continue insisting it wasn't her, or tell the truth that it was easier. Just kidding, Andrew claims that doing something would have involved picking a side, which is just kidding, Andrew claims that doing something would have involved Just kidding, Andrew claims that doing something would have involved picking a side, which is true, and that he'd have picked Julia, which sure, dude, I totally which is true, and which is true, and that he'd have picked Julia, which sure, dude, I totally believe you. And that in doing so, Ashley would have had nothing left to lose and gone completely ballistic, which is true. By some which is true, and that he'd have picked Julia, which sure, dude, I totally believe you. And that in doing so, Ashley would have had nothing left to lose and gone completely ballistic, which is true. By some miracle of the universe, Julia buys. How do you get used to listening to yourself during editing? I don't know. I sound great. My voice is delightful. By some miracle of the universe, Julia buys that and accepts the false assumption that the ultimatum Julia buys that and accepts the false assumption that the ultimatum about being official was her fault. Oh, yeah, in another route, it's shown that Julia was pushing Andrew to make them official, whatever that means. Because up to that point, they'd been sneaking around behind Ashley's back. Maybe I should have done that one first. Anyway, Andrew then turns the fault. Oh, yeah, in another route, it's shown that Julia was pushing Andrew to make them official, whatever that means. Because up to that point, they'd been sneaking around behind Ashley's back. Maybe I should have done that one first. Anyway, Andrew then turns the blame on himself for going through the whole song and dance and praises Julia for believing Ashley would come around. Pretty much
Andrew then turns the blame on himself for going Anyway, Andrew then turns the blame on himself for going through the whole song and dance and praises Julia for believing Ashley would come around. Pretty much any dialogue where Andrew is trying to interact positively with anyone always comes off as stiff and insincere because Andrew stops between telling the truth and lying like he's playing one-finger death punch. But he isn't wrong about the fact that Julia is a precious cinnamon roll who is too good for this garbage grayscale world. Then Julia asks if Andrew and Ashley are intimate. Jesus Christ, Julia. You don't just ask someone that question. God, are you hearing this, Carl? To the game's credit. Then Julia asks if Andrew and Ashley are intimate. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Not picking a side is inherently picking a side. Yep, neutral. Nope. We're gonna delete that message. I almost forgot about Carl just being in the fridge. I can't believe Carl has been fridged. Carl got fridged for Andrew's character on development.
Jesus Christ, Julia. Intimate. Jesus Christ, Julia. You don't just ask someone that question. God, are you hearing this, Carl? To the game's credit, I sincerely had no idea which answer. No idea which answer was the bad one to take. Both seemed like they'd blow up in Andrew's face. Fuck it, go big or go home. Fuck it, go big or go home. Wow, that worked. With Julia Wow, that worked. With Julia both placated and gas. With Julia both placated and gaslit to high hell, she arrives with some bolt cutters and Julia both placated and gaslit to high hell, she arrives with some bolt cutters and drops them through the mail slot, and we are free. Julia complains that the bolt cutters are expensive, so Julia complains that the bolt cutters are expensive, so Andrew goes to look for any amount of money he can find, and in Carl's closet, he finds a safe. Guessing the code instantly, the safe holds Carl's wallet and his ID. And in Carl's closet, he finds a safe. Guessing the code instantly, the safe holds Carl's wallet and his... And in Carl's closet, he finds a safe. Guessing the code instantly, the... he can find. And in Carl's closet, he finds a safe. Guessing the code in... Guessing the code instantly, the safe... wallet and his... wallet and his ID. Instantly, the safe holds Carl's wallet and his ID. The safe holds Carl's wallet and his... wallet and his... and his ID. And his ID. Holy shit, we have just found the golden key out of here. Carl leaving to entangle himself in a cult is the perfect alibi. The only problem is Ash.
Howdy, cranky Canada lady in chat. Hey, why do y'all say I'm cranky? I'm in a good mood.
Carl leaving to entangle himself in a cult is the perfect alibi.
I kind of don't like that you guys keep, like, holding me to, like, standards from, like, fucking 5 years ago. I frequently forget that you're Canadian. Weird.
Carl leaving to entangle himself in a cult is the perfect alibi. The only problem is Ashley. She'll almost certainly come after Andrew if he leaves, but then again, she's already chained herself to the demon, who certainly won't help her find Andrew again. Well, shit, dude, this might be the perfect out. Good for him, right, Carl? This might be the perfect out. Good for him, right, Carl? Well, shit, dude, this might be the perfect out. Good for him, right, Carl? Julia comes in asking for something to drink, and Andrew momentarily forgets about Carl. Seriously, dude, he's like the only one who's got your back. I mean, I sure don't. I'm your court-appointed psychiatrist. And
Positivity is weird because if you show your growth, some people shout about how you're annoying for preaching about therapy when all you did was show that you're happier. Yeah, it's people who are miserable and they want you to be as miserable as they are. Stop self-flagellating, dude. Currently trying to get my girlfriend to go to therapy, but she's dragging her heels on it. Ugh. Somebody who would like, there's nothing more annoying than somebody who wants to be miserable. Just because it's comfortable and familiar. Hi, Heywo. We actually don't like it when people bitch and moan about the ads, because you guys do it all the time. Like, so there's kind of just a rule in the chat, shut up about the ads. You know why there's ads on Twitch. You're based, by the way. Anyone ever tell you that? No, because I don't have an audience in Nazi, so nobody in my audience says the word based.
Hello everyone in the chat. CD call ham has CD call hammy.
What does based even mean? I've been hearing about it since 2021. Is it just a 6-7 word or based has been around since like 2014. It's 4chan speak, and it generally just it's what right wingers used to just refer to people who they thought could own the libs. Is you agree with someone or think they're cool, but it's predominantly used by either weebs or conservatives. Yep. Hey, Tonkadonk, why did you say the same? Why did you say the same people twice? Oh, actually, fun fact. Do you guys want to know how fucking long Coffin is? 13 and a half hours at present. See you, Stormborn. Comes in asking for something to drink, and Julia comes in asking for something. Comes in asking for something to drink, and Andrew momentarily forgets about Carl. Seriously, dude, he's like the only one who's got your back. It's about Carl. It's about Carl. Seriously, dude, he's like the only one who's got your back. I mean, I sure don't. I'm your court-appointed psychiatrist, and has to rush. I mean, I sure don't. I'm your court-appointed psychiatrist, and has to rush to stop. Rush to stop Julia from finding the dead body in the fridge. Instead, he offers to take Julia out for something to drink, where he also pays her back for the bolt cutters. Now faced with the task of finding drink, where he also pays her back. He also pays her back for the bolt cutters. Now faced with the task of finding a foot in the door to get a new life started, Andrew tries to cajole Julia into getting. Andrew tries to cajole Julia into getting back together, but Julia won't bite. After some pushing, she explains that while they were together, Andrew largely just smiled and nodded through their entire relationship, never really being interested in anything or putting any effort into it. Just shut up and do what Julia wants. She says she wants someone to grow with, not a servant who agrees to everything but doesn't put his heart into anything. For his part, Andrew seems into anything. For his part, Andrew seems genuinely confused by this. While Andrew largely went through the motions with his relationship with Julia to dispel rumors he was sleeping with his sister, and his behavior reeks of his extreme disinterest in her, it's worth pointing out that shut up and do what you're told has been It's worth pointing out extreme disinterest in her, it's worth pointing out that shut up and do. Curious to what the colors of the usernames mean. It just visually breaks them up so they're easier to read. It's worth pointing out that shut up and do what you're told has been the status quo with pretty much all the women in his life. Julia suggests it's how he's used. How he's used to acting with Ashley, which is partially true, but it also goes back as far as his mother. This is the fawn response. He's a people pleaser, trying to keep people happy enough that they aren't screaming at him while letting the resentment bubble and fester. And he does this largely because trying to reason with his mother or Ashley was never worth it, so he takes that into his relationships going forward. In Julia's case, Andrew was never interested in their relationship, but I mean, Andrew isn't really interested in anything if we're being honest. His whole life was solely dedicated to raising Ashley and keeping his mother from screaming at him, and his own wants and desires never really mattered. It's interesting how Andrew has dedicated so much of his time to trying to appear normal, and yet is completely unaware of the fact that everyone can tell that he isn't. The whole conversation is very awkward in the best way, and I think it's probably my favorite moment in the Actually, no, scratch that. My favorite moment is coming up later. Julia bids Andrew goodbye, making it very clear they aren't going to see. Julia bids Andrew goodbye, making it very clear they aren't going to see each other again. I see. To see each other again. I see. Then I bid you. Then I bid you farewell, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. Aw, that's actually kind of sweet. Aw, that's actually kind of sweet. I kind of like that they have an amicable goodbye. I like that they have an amicable goodbye. Sure, Andrew's largely putting on an act, but Actually, no, scratch that. I'm not even going to qualify it. Let's just appreciate that nothing bad happened to Julia and both of them got closure. Of course, it was obvious nothing bad was going to happen to Julia anyway, because the majority of the murders in this game are done to either joke characters or assholes. Like, the only ones for whom this isn't the case are the two campers, the lady from room 302, and Nina. What about the kid, CD? The kid is fine. I told you he's fucking fine. Nothing happened. And going to happen to Julia anyway, because the majority of the murders in this game are done to either joke characters or assholes. Like, the only ones for whom this isn't the case are the two campers, the lady from room 302, and Nina. What about... Like, the only ones for whom this isn't the case are the two campers, the lady from room 302, the lady from room 302, and I hate Andrew as a protagonist. The way he just sits there and takes the abuse he goes through reminds me of myself as a child. Ugh. I know that feeling. And Nina. What about the kid, CD? The kid is fine. I told you he's fucking fine. Nothing happened. Anyway, with things with Julia coming to a dead end, so we can lie and continue. Just kidding. Andrew claims that doing something would have involved picking a side. Anyway, with things with Julia coming to a dead end, Andrew sits down and reads her letter. Anyway, with things with Julia coming to a dead end, Andrew sits down and reads her letter, which reiterates the same thing she just told. Just gotten out of a horribly her letter, which reiterates the same thing she just told him, but in narcissist eyes turn black language. Julia doing this makes sense. She'd just gotten out of a horribly toxic relationship, but it is also the microcosm of the entire game, isn't it? Bouncing back and forth between an accurate portrayal of abuse, trauma bonding, and the fawn response, and then pop psychology true crime garbage. Whatever. After that, Andrew is interrupted by some random guy. Oh wait, it's friend B. Excited to see his old buddy again. True crime garbage. Whatever. Whatever. After that, Andrew is interrupted by some Interrupted by some random guy. Some random guy. Oh, some random guy. Oh wait, it's excited to see. Oh wait, it's friend B. Excited to see his old buddy again. Friend B starts excitedly talking about his new excited to see his old buddy again. Friend B starts excitedly talking about his new promotion and the fact that his wife is pregnant. Ooh, wow, that's really bad timing, my dude. He asks Ooh, wow, that's really bad timing, my dude. He asks what Andrew's been up to, and of course, he has nothing to say. Ooh, wow, that's really bad timing, my dude. He asks what Andrew's been up to, and of course, he has He asks what Andrew's been up to, and of course, he has nothing to say. He asks about Julia, he says she broke up with him, he asks how Ashley He asks about Julia, he says she broke up with him, he asks how Ashley He asks how Ashley is, and Andrew says she's awful as usual. Andrew says she's awful as usual. Instantly, friend B is aware of three things. Nothing's going on in Andrew's life, Julia left him, and he's still in Ashley's clutches, which means nothing good is on the horizon. Instantly, friend B is aware of three things. Nothing's going on in Nothing's going on in Andrew's life, Julia left him, and he's still in Ashley's clutches, which means nothing good is on the horizon. In a flashback toward the beginning of the game, Ashley yells someone a hussy or something, and Andrew asks where she picked that up from. And, like, genuinely, where is Ashley's bizarre fixation on sexual and romantic relationships coming from? She's exhibiting it that young. Like, she's got some very weird plus intensely misogynistic ideas around sex, degree to which it's present even separate from a relationship with Andrew. Oh, yeah, Ashley is a raging misogynist. Ashley does not believe women have any value beyond sex, which is a big contributing factor to why she thinks Andrew is going to basically go running the moment a woman he can actually sleep with is around. That look on his face makes it clear he is now regretting bragging about clutches, which means nothing good is on the horizon. That look on his face makes it clear he is now regretting bragging about all the good things going on in his life to a friend who's in the most dire of straits. Andrew briefly considers confessing the thing. considers confessing that things are going terribly and asking for help. It might even work, and he might get away with everything he's ever done. So he vomits vomits all over the pavement. Vomits all over the pavement. The fuck is the point of any of this? I'm so tired. Rather than try any of that, he asks his friend for a 20 and he obliges. Rather than try any of that, he asks his friend for a 20 and he obliges. For a 20 and he obliges. No problem, dude. Just take care of yourself, alright? You know, friend B is a real one. We stand friend. You want to see? You ready to see the most ridiculous fucking thing I have ever done for a video? Friend B is a real one. We stand friend B in this house. I want nothing but good things for friend B. Anyway, with a fresh 20 in hand, Andrew heads into the shop to get some booze to drink his I'm sorry, what the fuck? Okay, I guess the shop was Atelier Sweets. Fucking syrup jump scare, Jesus Christ. Gumdrop asks if he's okay, and Andrew asks if they sell alcohol, to which Gumdrop directs him to Syrup, who sells him a case of mead. Honestly, mead makes the most sense for Syrup to sell. After getting the mead, Gumdrop hopes he has a good day and that whatever horrors are burning his soul are swiftly dispatched. You've always wondered what the exact opposite of Ashley is, and this talking gummy bear might just be it. That might just be the highest compliment Andrew's ever paid anyone. Well, that was weird. Anyway, out of heaven and back into purgatory. And where the fuck were you? I changed my mind. Can we go back to Atelier Sweets, please? They are heaven and back into purgatory. Back into purgatory. And where the fuck were you? I changed my mind. Can we go back to Atelier Sweets, please? I wonder if that twink behind the counter is single. Century. Lol, the crap of a century. You know, when this video inevitably goes up publicly, there's gonna at least be one comment like, okay, is that a real fucking thing? And I'm gonna be left with the horrible decision of, do I gaslight these people or not? Is the Syrup crossover some sort of fan-made mod? Not fan-made, that's for certain. Makes it slightly more bearable. The past few minutes has been fun, and now we're back in hell. I put that together specifically for this video. The whole, like, the entire point of it was basically just for this punchline here. Anyway, out of heaven and back into purgatory. And where the fuck were you? I changed my mind. Can we go back to Atelier Sweets, please? They are... That was it. That's what the whole thing is in service toward. Is this real? Do you not believe what you see? They argue and Andrew just lights up and has a drink, clearly not even bothering. Being between Andrew and friend B is a really relatable depiction of how talking to old friends from high school is when you've gotten nothing done with your life. You is me. A wig. Introduce a character that is very clearly Andrew Graves in a wig. Oh, you mean Timber? Timber. That's who you're talking about. You're talking about Timber. That's Timber. Argue and Andrew just lights up and has a drink. Whoops. Argue and Andrew just lights up and has a drink. Clearly. Argue and Andrew just lights up and has a drink. Clearly not. Lights up and drink. Clearly not even bothering to entertain Ashley's bullshit anymore. Good for him. They start talking about Andrew's smoke. Good for him. They start talking about Andrew's smoking. I didn't care why, but I assumed this game was voiced. No. God, that sounds like it would be an actual nightmare. Andrew's smoking habits, and he says he started smoking to deal with the stress, and Ashley wonders if it actually helps. Andrew offers her one, she says no. He offers to split, she says no. Then he offers to shotgun it. Wait, no, Andrew, don't do it! Ah, you stupid son of a bitch! Small blessings is that Ashley starts choking like a diseased baboon, but that's something of a monkey's paws. The two start actually making out, but Andrew backs off for obvious reasons, claiming she's terrible at this. Look, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but don't ram your face into mine, it hurts. What, are you gonna teach me how to kiss, big brother? To the gulag with you! Andrew is immediately grossed out, and Ashley doesn't see what the big deal is. Look, it's bad enough that people call their partners daddy. You don't need to make it worse. Carl agrees with me, right, Carl? With the mood completely destroyed, thank God, Andrew decides to make something for dinner. Now he has a shitty meal to go with his shitty life. With the mood completely destroyed, thank God, Andrew decides to make something for dinner. Now, with the mood completely destroyed, thank God, Andrew decides to make something for dinner. Now he has a shitty meal to go with his shitty life, and dinner. Now he has a shitty meal to go with his shitty life, and mercifully, Ashley is miserable too. They argue. And mercifully, Ashley is miserable too. They argue, as usual, with Ashley anxious that he'll leave, and Andrew reiterates reiterating that he wouldn't leave if he just stopped being the worst. Except at this point, paranoid nut. Except at this point, we all know that it's a lie. He had a golden opportunity to leave and he just didn't take it. The bluff has been thoroughly called. Ashley's just too much of a paranoid nut job to realize it. Ashley asserts that she loves Andrew more than any— No, you don't! Ashley asserts that she loves Andrew more than any— No, you don't! No, you don't! You covet him like an object because he's the only person who tolerates your miserable ass. That's not love, that's possession. And you covet him like an object because he's the only person who tolerates your miserable ass. That's not love, that's possession. Andrew calls her out on it, challenging her to name one thing she loves about him, to which she immediately fumbles. He then I just step away for a minute to clean up. How are the horrors here? They're certainly horrifying. The Lord God has forsaken us. There is no God. Ashley's in desperate need of a spray bottle filled with acid. What time is it? 5. Okay. Andrew calls her out on it, challenging her to name one thing she loves about calls her out on it, challenging her to name one thing she loves about him, to which she immediately fumbles. He then makes it clear to her that he doesn't really— He then makes it clear— He then makes it clear to her that he doesn't really love Lele at all. I liked Ashley. At all. I liked Ashley, though, before she regressed into this sorry sight in front of me, he says, insisting that Ashley once had wit, moxie, and charm. I'm sorry, what dimension was this? Because Ashley hasn't had an ounce of wit from Chapter 1. Is this just some flashback I missed in the other route? An ounce of wit from Chapter 1. Is this just some flashback I missed in the other route? Sir, your confusing mix of loathing and incestuous lust have rendered you delusional. I'm sorry. This because Ashley hasn't had an ounce of wit from Chapter 1. Ashley hasn't had an ounce of wit from Chapter 1. Is this just some flashback I missed in the other route? Sir, your confusing mix of loathing and incestuous lust have rendered you delusional. He tries to go to bed but collapses, so Ashley in the other route. Sir, your confusing mix of loathing and incestuous lust have rendered you delusional. He tries to go to bed but collapses, so Ashley drags him there and they, for once, have a conversation that doesn't turn collapses. So Ashley collapses. So Ashley drags him there, and they, for once, tries to go to bed but collapses. So there, and they, for once, so Ashley drags him there, and they, for once, have a conversation. Wait, what? One second. Severe weather in the network. It's like a light snow. Vulcan upper Sackville, I guess. Rainy and partially flooded roads has been dreary for a month. Ugh. Yeah, my condolences. I'm glad I don't live in the fucking city anymore. I moved back out from Halifax to back to Sackville a couple years ago. mercifully just before housing prices like skyrocketed in the pandemic, so that was nice. They, for once, have a conversation that doesn't turn into a fight. Andrew, being more wasted than unsold food, basically lays out that he's just as addicted a fight. Andrew, being more wasted than unsold food, basically lays out that he's just as addicted as Ashley is, and confesses that if she hadn't dropped the worst anime trope in the book, he'd have probably had sex with her. Are you asking me for sex? How scandalous. No. Stupid. It's the one thing I have left. I could say I've done a lot of underhanded, disgusting things, but at least I didn't prey on my own baby sister. Ooh, that's interesting. For most of the game, Andrew keeps bounding back and forth between wanting to fuck Ashley and being disgusted by the notion. That's not actually surprising. The number one symptom bounding back and forth between wanting to fuck Ashley and being disgusted by the notion. That's not actually surprising. The number one symptom of sibling enmeshment is uncomfortable sexual feelings, as the person you're enmeshed with ends up being the replacement for all your emotional needs. And he considers actually caving in and sleeping with her to the point where he can't pretend to be a normal functioning person anymore, which is probably the most important thing to him. Man, these two need therapy on opposite ends of the globe, the kind you get in a federal institution. Right, Carl? And these two need therapy on opposite ends of the globe, the kind you get in a federal institution. Right, Carl? Anyway, the next morning, Ashley goes off to work, but not before Andrew Okay, that is about as much of editing this as I can fucking take. Good fucking lord. Like, editing this has been fun, but long stretches of editing it is just... Ugh. Deleterious to the human soul. Yeah, it's like I've got to edit this in small bursts. I'm actually relieved I'm doing this now because it means less work later. Editing is monotonous and monotony is exhausting. No, here's the thing. I actually like editing sometimes, and I even enjoy editing this. It's just, I've got to do this in slow bursts. Just, good lord. Because, like, I have to really reach to find interesting things to talk about with this game, which is part of why I'm enjoying making this video, because it really just stretches my my expertise on like all the different subjects involved. And this is one of the few subjects I actually am an expert in, so. And it's like, but I am trying to pull interesting and thought-provoking discussions out of a game that is neither of those things. Your World Champion wallpaper is cool. Thank you. You the one holding her back? Yes. Come hell or high water, I will wring blood from this stone. Because of game curiosity, the game just loves repeating itself. I got bored very quickly, so I'm interested to see what else you have to say on the matter. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I am like this is like just the section I have the audio for right now, the hour and 18-minute section. That covers 7 hours of gameplay. That is how much I have managed to compress this. Which is probably why the first one did so fucking well. Coffin is so overwritten, it's insane. Oh yeah. A lot of that overwriting is just Nemle fighting with her own audience. Like if the audience had took a bad view of like the previous 2 episodes, Decay has like an hour dedicated to trying to course correct it. I don't think I could stomach playing this game for 7 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, in positive news, there is a vinyl of the Bad Ed Theater soundtrack. You bet your ass I'm getting this. So, like, apparently side A has just the soundtrack, and then side B has remixes of everything, which is great. The cover art is so cute. Yeah, it's adorable. I'm absolutely buying that when I get paid. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put a little soundtrack. It's gonna be weird hearing like fucking Vocaloid come out of a turntable. Hey, Zane. Just good after seeing Iron Lung. Pretty good. Nothing to complain about aside from technical issues. Hope Mark makes more movies. Oh, yeah. Like, I hope he does. It was so fucking good. Like, man, like, fucking 15 years ago, like, think about this, Zane. Like, from all of the Let's Players that kind of got their fucking start. Hang on, when did Amnesia come out? Yeah, like, fucking 16 years ago. Would you have ever guessed that out of all the Let's Players that were making a name for themselves at the time, that it would have been Markiplier, who went on to make a fucking, who went on to make a box office breaking horror film? No, but honestly, I'm super happy that it was. Oh, yeah. hear about the behind the scenes stuff, which isn't something I normally care about immediately after I see a movie. Oh yeah. Markiplier's been making short films and comedic sketches for years. He deserves the mainstream recognition. Oh yeah, absolutely. I am looking forward to the next movie he makes. Like, I have not actually watched a Markiplier video in quite a long time. So it's always interesting just coming back and go, "Oh, you're still here and you're still good." That's great. He's like the exact kind of YouTuber that BreadTube would have been sneering about 10 years ago, so. I genuinely think old school YouTube content is going to see a resurgence in the next 10 years. I'm say hi, and I'm a huge fan. Aw, thanks, Stray Nabarius. Neutral about the movie. I thought that I was always going to see it until he posted the little bit of behind the scenes preview of himself being tossed around in a box they were using for the sub, and you just hear his muffled screams inside. Funniest thing I've seen in a while. Bad naughty YouTubers get put in the YouTuber Wiggler. Bad naughty YouTubers get put in the timeout tube. You Wiggles, your tuber. People are dying all... I found hard to see why, because people are dying all over the place. I think what makes Grave of the Fireflies so viscerally and dreadfully uncomfortable for many people is that it's a film that deprives the viewer of the things that give them comfortable catharsis. A happy ending isn't guaranteed. In fact, the film opens telling you that there won't be a good resolution for these characters. There isn't a main antagonist to root against and a hero to root for, because every character, no matter how small their role, has a hand in the deaths of these children, including one of those children. The only truly innocent character in the film is Setsuko. There's a lot of attention put on the terrible system these children are living in and how it's uncaring toward their suffering, but you're denied the possibility of escaping or leaving it. Trying to exist outside the broken, cold, and callous system is ultimately what dooms them. There's nothing even especially noteworthy about our main characters. Many people are suffering. Even other children are suffering just as much as they are. They aren't the main characters because they're important, and they are interchangeable with anyone. Any moment where another film would offer you a moment of emotional respite or a moment of catharsis is summarily denied, and you are forced to sit there and think about what you're watching. Grave of the Fireflies is a film that never, at any point, tries to mask that it's about something. Grave of the Firefly is so uncomfortable for so many people specifically because it's too good at focusing on what it wants to be about. Ignore it and focus on something else. Even The Tale of Princess Kaguya, a film that is arguably more depressing than Grave of the Fireflies, still warms the audience up with the entire first act of the film and hides Kaguya's ultimate fate behind visual metaphor. Thinly veiled visual metaphor, but just enough that a viewer can pretend they're not watching a young girl kill herself out of sheer lifeless despair. Grave of the Fireflies is raw and unfiltered, and at no point is the viewer ever given a break from thinking about the things Takahata wants you to think about. This isn't something audiences, especially modern audiences, are accustomed to. Films, especially animated films, constrain themselves to a set of unspoken rules, and when a lot of media gets dark or grim, it does so in very toothless ways that doesn't ask the audience to take off their warm blanket. Almost every rule about good storytelling is one that Grave of the Fireflies breaks, and it does so because following those rules would have made the film easier to watch, but worse. Don't like thinking about anything when they sit down to watch a movie. Sit down to watch a movie. It's gonna be starting soon. I'm gonna hop off. Have a good rest of stream. All right, I'll join you in a little bit. I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna cut the stream. think of the kind of person who would love this movie, and that's someone who likes thinking, and that's someone who likes films that make them think, who loves films with a core theme, with a core central theme. And that's someone who likes films, you know, someone who loves films with a core central, theme that delivers that theme so well, regardless of how sad it is. Sad it is. It's me. I'm someone. There we go. All right. I'll see y'all later. Bye.